Every parent knows the moment you're at the end of your rope with your kid, ready to lose it completely, and your partner steps in, calms things down, talks you off the ledge. A week later, the roles reverse. This isn't just modern parenting wisdom. It's the exact dynamic the Bible describes between God and Moses as they try to raise the most difficult child in history, the nation of Israel. Let's see this dynamic in action, starting with the most famous crisis in the Torah. We're at Mount Sinai. God has just given the covenant, the Ten Commandments, and the laws that will define Israel as a nation. Moses climbs the mountain to receive the stone tablets. The people wait below. Weeks pass. Moses doesn't return, and Israel grows restless. They approach Aaron with a demand. Make us a god, as for this fellow. Moses, who knows what happened to him? Aaron collects gold jewelry and fashions a calf. The people declare, "This is your God, Israel, who brought you out of Egypt." God's response is immediate and furious. He tells Moses, "Go down. Your people have corrupted themselves. I've seen this nation. They're stiff-necked. Now leave me alone so my anger can burn against them. I will destroy them, and I will make you into a great nation instead." God offers Moses the deal of a lifetime. Become a new Abraham. Start fresh. The failed experiment ends. Moses' descendants become the chosen people. Moses refuses. He won't abandon the nation even at its worst. Moses descends, sees the calf, and smashes the tablets in fury. He punishes the guilty. But then he returns to God and pleads, "These people have committed a great sin, but now, please forgive their sin. If not, blot me out of the book you have written." Moses doesn't defend Israel's behavior. He acknowledges the sin completely, yet he still pleads for mercy. And this is the first instance of the pattern. God blows hot, Moses blows cold. Together, they navigate the crisis without destroying the relationship. Here's the remarkable detail. The rabbis teach that both sets of tablets, the shattered ones and the restored ones, were placed together in the Ark of the Covenant. Failure preserved alongside restoration. The broken tablets aren't hidden or discarded. They travel with Israel through the wilderness, into the promised land, into the temple itself. Covenant can be shattered. Covenant can be repaired. Both realities remain true simultaneously, and this becomes foundational to Jewish theology of repentance. But here's where it gets interesting. The roles don't stay fixed. In Numbers 14, the pattern repeats. Moses sends 12 spies into Canaan. 10 return with a terrifying report. Giants, fortified cities, certain death. Only Joshua and Caleb urge faith. The people weep all night. They want to return to Egypt. God again threatens destruction. "I will strike them with plague and disinherit them." Moses responds with a brilliant rhetorical move. He appeals not to God's mercy, but to God's reputation. The Egyptians will hear about this. They'll tell the Canaanites. The nations will conclude, God couldn't deliver on his promise. God relents. The compromise, the Exodus generation won't enter the land. They'll wander 40 years until that generation dies. But the nation survives. Their children will inherit the promise. Once again, God blows hot. Moses blows cold. The pattern holds. But Numbers 11 shows us something different. The people complain about food. They remember Egypt with absurd nostalgia. We had fish for free, cucumbers, melons. Now we have nothing but this manna. Moses loses it. He turns to God with raw frustration. "Did I conceive these people? Did I give birth to them? Why do you tell me to carry them in my arms like a nurse carries an infant? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people? They keep wailing at me. I cannot carry this burden alone. If this is how you're going to treat me, just kill me now." The roles have reversed completely. Now Moses blows hot. Now God must respond with patience. God doesn't rebuke Moses for the outburst. Instead, God provides a solution. 70 elders will share the burden of leadership. The spirit that rests on Moses will rest on them too. Moses won't carry this alone anymore. The rabbinic tradition captures this partnership beautifully. Between the two of us, when I blow hot, you blow cold. When you blow hot, I blow cold. And together we'll muddle through. This isn't dysfunction, it's partnership. So what does this partnership teach us about the nature of prophecy itself? Moses establishes a template every later prophet inherits. The prophet has two orientations, two directions to face. Facing the people, the prophet chastises, rebukes, calls to account. This is the voice of judgment, demanding Israel live up to its covenant obligations. Facing God, the prophet intercedes, pleads, asks for mercy, even when the people don't deserve it. This is the voice of advocacy, standing between divine justice and human frailty. The prophet belongs fully to neither side. The prophet stands in the tension between them. This dual orientation defines biblical prophecy. Amos denounces Israel's injustice, then pleads with God to relent. Jeremiah proclaims judgment, then weeps for his people. Isaiah announces destruction, then offers comfort. The prophet never simply delivers messages. The prophet argues, negotiates, advocates. The prophet is invested in both parties, torn between loyalty to God's standards and love for God's people. The Bible doesn't give us a God who manages alone. It doesn't give us a prophet who simply delivers divine telegrams. It gives us a partnership, messy, frustrated, sometimes at wit's end, but committed to muddling through together. God needs Moses, not because God lacks power, but because covenant requires relationship. Relationship requires someone to argue with, someone to check your anger, someone to remind you why you started this project in the first place. Moses needs God, not just for authority, but for patience when his own runs out, for solutions when he's ready to quit, for partnership in an impossible task. And Israel, difficult, complaining, faithless, beloved Israel, survives because two parties refuse to give up on them. Right? When one is ready to walk away, the other holds the line. Right? So that's not dysfunction. That's how covenant works. That's how anything worth doing gets done.